The third pick belongs to the Portland Trailblazers.
In this year's draft lottery, the Portland Trailblazers were lucky enough to jump up and snag the third pick in the 2023 NBA draft. Ever since then, many questions have risen about what they'll do with the pick. In today's video, we'll be talking about what they can do, what they should do, and maybe even predict what they will do. Welcome back to Speedy Hoops.
Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
The Portland Trailblazers drafted Damian Lillard with the 6th pick in the 2012 NBA draft, and he's been their franchise player ever since. He started in Portland with star big man LaMarcus Aldridge and some good starters like Wesley Matthews and Nick Batum. This was a good core, but the most they could achieve was a second-round exit to the Spurs in 2014. After Aldridge left, Dame took over as the guaranteed star of the team in the 2015-16 season, averaging career highs of 25 points per game and 6.8 assists per game. Still, they fell to the 73-9 Warriors in the second round. 2 years came and gone, both being 4-0 sweeps, ending their seasons in the first round. But then came 2019. Dame was a bona fide star. Many thought of him as a top 5 point guard in the league, maybe even top 3. He also had his backcourt buddy, CJ McCollum, who was averaging 20 plus year after year, and actually looking like the second best player on a championship contender. Then came the playoffs, and I think we all know what happened in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bad shot. I care what anybody says, that's a bad shot.
Then came the second round, against the young but deadly Denver Nuggets. It took 7 games, with one of them going to quadruple overtime, but eventually, Portland got out of there, to face their rival, the Golden State Warriors. After all these years of losing, surely this time would be different. Surely this would be a battle to the death.
Lillard gets it. Lillard from the corner for three. Won't go. And that'll do it. The Warriors do it again. Another comeback as they defeat the Blazers here in overtime and advance to their 5th consecutive NBA Finals.
Well, that flopped. That was the last time Portland made the playoffs. Regardless of all the trades and all the MVP Dame performances, it wasn't enough. And now one thing became obvious. Dame needs help.
Is now 1 of 4. He is 3 for 15 shooting in this game. Lillard with a 30-foot bomb. Oh, wow. Damian Lillard, he's got 3 of those 30-footers in this series already.
The Blazers have tried to build around Dame all these years, but failed time and time again. And the reason why is because Dame needs a star. I don't mean a borderline all-star like CJ McCollum, or a young rising star like Anthony Simons. I mean a star. Look at the last 5 championship teams. The 2019 Raptors had Kawhi, a top 3 player at the time, along with an all-star Kyle Lowry and some good role players. The 2020 Lakers had LeBron, a top 3 player at the time, along with Anthony Davis, a top 10 player at the time, and a few good role players. The 2021 Bucks had Giannis, a top 3 player at the time, along with all-star Chris Middleton and some good role players. The 2022 Warriors had Steph Curry, a top 3 player at the time, along with all-star Draymond Green and some good role players. The 2023 Nuggets had Jokic, a top 3 player at the time, along with Jamal Murray, who was playing at an all-star level, and some amazing role players. Are you seeing a pattern? These teams usually have a superstar player with an all-star caliber player beside him and some great role players. The closest Dame had to that was with LaMarcus Aldridge, but neither of them reached that superstar level at that point. I think right now Dame is a superstar, so logically following the pattern, he needs an all-star caliber player beside him, along with some good role players. Now Portland has had role players, guys like Nurkic, Jeremy Grant, Josh Hart, and a few others. But they've never given Dame a consistent guy beside him who could possibly help him win a championship. With this third pick now though, they have an opportunity. Here's 4 trades that I think can work to help Dame. I'm not going to go super in depth with them since I don't want this video to be too long, but I still think these trades can benefit the team. Option 1. The Blazers trade Anthony Simons, Jusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and the 3rd pick to the Raptors for Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and the 13th pick. Option 2. The Blazers trade Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Jusuf Nurkic, Keon Johnson, and the 3rd pick to the Clippers for Kawhi Leonard. Option 3. The Blazers trade Anthony Simons, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, Jabari Walker, and the 3rd pick to the Bulls for DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso. Option 4. The Blazers trade Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, and the 3rd pick to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown.
Tournament that we started a couple years ago. We have some exciting things we want to do this year. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. It's showtime! Scoot Henderson. Learn the name.
And then there's the other option. Dame is getting old. He wants to get a ring, and at the end of the day, that may not be possible in Portland. In this situation, Portland would trade Dame and use the 3rd pick to start their rebuild. Many destinations have been rumored for Dame time, but I really want to talk about this 3rd pick. Victor Wembanyama is the obvious 1st pick, and while Scoot looked like it at first, Brandon Miller is starting to become the more obvious 2nd pick. At 3rd, the Blazers do have an opportunity to get Scoot Henderson, but there are still some good options. There's both Thompson twins, Ashar, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, and Amen, who are promising young guards from the Overtime Elite League. There's Anthony Black, a 6'6" guard out of Arkansas who showed some potential, and many other promising prospects. I'm not going to say who I think they should pick because this isn't my mock draft. I will talk about one thing though. Scoot Henderson comes from the G League, which has emerged as one of the newer, more unique paths to the NBA. Other notable players such as Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, and Dyson Daniels also took this path. So far, other than Kuminga's championship and Jalen Green's dunk contest NFT, these players haven't made many moves compared to their other college or overseas prospects, like Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, and Josh Giddey. Still, they're extremely young and have lots of time to develop. Then, there's Overtime Elite, the newest way to make it to the NBA. This is even more questionable, with high school players being allowed to compete in this league, putting the validity of these prospects' performances in jeopardy, as they may not be facing the same competition as other draftees are. This is also in question, as these twins are the first Overtime Elite players to be top prospects, so we'll see how it goes. Me personally, I do have faith in them, as they have played some games against pro-level competition and still have performed. All we can do for now though is wait and see.
High dribble, into the lane, running right-hander, up and in, Damian Lillard. With that runner, 71 points, a career high.
Dame has been in trade rumors ever since Portland acquired the 3rd pick, so I think it'd be great if we explored some options. First of all, what does Dame want? He wants to stay in Portland. That's his first choice, 100%. But I think he's gotten to the point where he realized that if Portland can't help him win a championship, he might have to try again somewhere else. Dame himself mentioned that he would favor the Heat and the Nets, but he doesn't want to go to the Celtics. So I'll draw up a trade for a Heat, a trade for the Nets, and a trade for one other team I think Dame would fit on. Option 1. The Blazers trade Damian Lillard and Keon Johnson to the Heat for Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Nikola Jovic, and 2 first-round picks. Keon, Tyler, and Kyle are really only there to help make contracts match up, but they also help Portland get a decent amount of value for what they're giving up. Dame helps the Heat do what they couldn't do this past year and win a championship. This also does leave Miami with barely any cap space, but they can still use Duncan Robinson's contract to get some more championship winning role players. Option 2. The Blazers trade Damian Lillard to the Nets for Ben Simmons, Day'Ron Sharpe, Cam Thomas, and 4 first-round picks. This lets the Nets offload Ben Simmons to a rebuilding team and give Mikal Bridges a superstar beside him. Mikal showed he can play at an all-star level during the last few days of the season, and I think regardless of the changes made to the team, he'll be able to keep up that level of play going into the upcoming year. I didn't want the Nets to lose Cam Thomas, but I think in this situation it's necessary, along with the 4 first-round picks, for Portland to accept this deal. Option 3. The Blazers trade Damian Lillard to the Los Angeles Clippers for Norman Powell, Marcus Morris Sr., Terrence Mann, Brandon Boston Jr., and 2 first-round picks. The Clippers get a consistent, non-injury prone star. The Blazers get a rebuild with a few young players and picks. This isn't very favorable for the Blazers, as the package they get back isn't that good compared to the other packages, but it's still a great way to help the Clippers get a ring. There are many options for what the Blazers can do. Some options help the team more, some options help Dame more. There's many other trades, prospects, teams, picks. Who knows what's gonna happen? The only thing I hope doesn't happen is that Portland drafts with the pick, doesn't trade Dame, and just keeps sticking in the mediocrity they've been in for the past 10 years. Because that won't be fair to Dame, it won't be fair to the fans, it'll just suck for everybody. So please, Portland, I know nobody's really seeing this, but don't do that. As long as they don't do that, everything will be okay. Because somebody will win. But like I said before, all we can do is wait and see. And I'm right here, waiting and seeing. That'll be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's a new type of video, and I'm hoping to do more of these. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.